is this they you're talking about?
That's Ben. That's Ben.
Looks like my ex-husband might be finally going to jail. Okay, so I saw this, and the way that, go watch this video that I stitched. I just wanted people to see this. This reminded me so much of my ex, and I found this out earlier this week, and I've been mulling it over, like, should I talk about this? And you know what? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Trigger warning, DV, IPV, intimate partner, that sort of thing. So me and my ex-husband met at a party when I was like 18 years old, and I was friends with his sister, and we ended up dating. We got married like 4 months later. He was Army. He proposed over the phone. It's a very Army wife story. I didn't realize how terrible he was until I moved up there, and long story short, there was a lot of stuff that happened, and I finally came back home after he threatened to throw me down the stairs while I was pregnant. His exact words, you better run because I'm going to unalive you and that effing baby. And thankfully I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom was like, you need to get to the airport. Go to the airport. What are you doing? Now, the reason I had a hunch and kind of checked stuff is because, one, I had needed some court paperwork and had seen it before, but more recently, my daughter still has contact with some of his other kids. He has 5 kids, including her, and he duped one of the younger kids, who he's not even legally supposed to be around, and so that's a whole other story, into calling my daughter, and then he grabbed the phone and tried to talk to her, and she hung up, because he is convinced, like most narcissistic fathers are, that I'm the reason that she doesn't talk to him. Well, let me tell you the whole story, and you'll see how ridiculous that is. So his and my thing, we've been divorced forever and ever and ever, right? But he got a girlfriend before he'd come home. They talked a little bit in his last little bit in Iraq, and then when he got here, they dated for a while. Now, this girl was, like, overstepping her bounds, but he did the usual, like, oh yeah, my baby mama ain't shit, even though obviously I had been the one, like, raising the child. He didn't even provide insurance every time he was supposed to because he was court-ordered to do it. It would get canceled, so I just stopped worrying about that and just took care of it myself. Didn't really pay child support on time, all of that stuff. But I kept getting messages on MySpace, that's how long ago, about what I was feeding her, this and that, from that girl. But let's not talk crap about her, because they ended when they got in a fight when they had both been drinking, and he almost unalived her in a Dillard's parking lot. You know why I shouldn't press charges? Because I would have used that as an excuse for him to never see his daughter again, and damn right I would have. The hell? I know, it still makes me. She protected him over a child that shouldn't have been spending time with a man like that. Trust, I get the dynamic and I have empathy for her, but I will never forgive her for doing that, because it took years longer to get us to be able to go no contact, and a lot of damage to my kid. So enter the one whose husband this charge that he recently picked up is against. Oh, I dropped my thing. Ooh, it's a doozy. Yeah, I told you. So he meets this girl, and I actually knew her from before because we had encountered each other in work type situations, right? And so they start dating, they get together, and about 2 years in, I start noticing there's stuff. And she had 2 kids from a marriage before who he was hurting a lot also, from what I know now. I didn't know then, obviously. And so then they decide that it is such a good idea, Gary, but that they should have 2 more kids. Even though they don't respect it or whatever, he's not legally allowed to be around kids because he pulled out a pew-pew and had a whole situation in front of all of the kids, and that's when she had finally left. But at that point, there were, teeth busted out, broken bones, that sort of stuff. I mean, it was really, really bad. I'm not going to go into, like, more detail than that because it's not my story, but yeah, it was bad. Oh yeah, he's still around him. He shouldn't be. It's totally illegal. What are you going to do? Because New Mexico, they don't give a shit about kids here. So homegirl gets out, and she's with this new guy, and they're, like, doing good. Like, everything seems to be going good, but, on the DL, like, it's not going good. So they start the flip-flop back and forth situation, which just happened last year, the year before, something like that. And back and forth between my ex and this new guy. But with my ex, he'll be really cool for a couple weeks, but no matter who you are, he's going to end up getting physical, right? And his parents will cover for him. Everyone will. This was his second charge, but before the charges were dropped, she had pressed charges because the cops had been called, but then dropped the charges, right? And this was years ago, in 2013. Fast forward to last year. So the guy comes, he's trying to, like, help her get out of the house, whatever. And my ex decides to grab dude and pull him into his house so that he can try to, like, do something. But my ex, if you've ever heard the phrase, like, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, he floats like a gnat and stings like Grandma Shark from the song. I just wish he would actually remember in some realm that he's not the badass army vet that he says he is, and that instead is guilty of stolen valor. And yeah, not that tough, no. Oh yeah, he made a real situation, turned it around, and tells it as a story that happened to him because everyone else who was in that accident died. So who's going to refute it? Yeah, he's no good. No good. No, no, no. So this is the thing. So this is what he's charged with right now. Now, these are misdemeanors, right? But he got a 4th degree felony, which is like the lowest level of felony, which really, really sucks. But minimum sentencing guidelines for the top one are 364 days in jail and $1,000 fine. Plus you add the other ones. He'll probably plead to something. And I'm sure his mom is paying for whatever attorney that is, which, God, I wish I could run into her in Walmart. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm just going to start shopping at the Walmart by her house. Hopefully that happens. Now, of course, we're in New Mexico. He probably won't get what he should. But after 18 years of watching him hurt every person he's come in contact with, he's finally going to get some consequences. I don't know what those are going to be, but I sure know where I'm going to be on October 5th of this year. I just wanted to share that to give anyone hope who might be in this kind of situation is it does get better. And after 18 years, which it took too long, something might actually happen. And even more so than that, I'm not afraid of him anymore. I am not afraid of him in any way, shape, or form, and I cannot wait to see his face when he sees me sitting in that courtroom to watch his trial. Jesus, don't be a plea bargain, because I want to see that. I really want to acknowledge, though, that I am absolutely one of the lucky ones, because he managed to get himself on paper. There were many, many years that I had to send my daughter, and there are a lot of people that are in that situation where you send them into the belly of the beast. And if you don't, they call the cops on you and the cops come and they'll be like, hey, yeah, you have to send your kid. And it's just the worst thing because if they're not on paper yet, nobody believes you. Addendum, though, reporting is a personal decision and people are going to report or they're not. That's not up to us whether they do or not. But what I can say is if you're in this situation and stuff is really, really hard, it does get better. And even if it takes all the way until your kid is 18, eventually that other person, your kid, is going to grow up and they saw who raised them. They see who takes care of them. They see what the other parent did. So no matter how much they want to say that you're turning them against them and you turned them against me. Okay, Anakin, that's not true. And you know that and they know that. So whatever that other party thinks, have a good day.